P-A-S-C-A-L. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Today is a big day. There's a lot going on today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every single last one of y'all. What's good? What's poppin'? What's good? What's poppin'? Yes. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope this show finds you in great spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Y'all, we got things to talk about. There's some things popping off today. Okay, one of them happens to be this trial with Courtney Clenney. Yes, the OF model that did the bad thing to her boyfriend. She has taken a plea deal. So we have got to talk about this. This is absolutely insane because we were all getting ready for a very, very serious trial today or this month, and she suddenly out of nowhere took a plea deal. So this is going to be a very, very interesting situation, if that makes any sense. All right, we got a lot to talk about. Then later on today, we got something else going on in a few hours from now as well, and we're going to be talking about that here just in a little bit. So please do me a favor. Before we get into everything, do me a solid. All right. Hit that like button down below, crush it, do it to do, hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms, like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, I'm on all them bugs. So make sure you are following those platforms. Cause like I said, we out here working, baby. All right. We working. All right. And the work is only going to continue stacking up. All right. So please make sure you hit that follow button on those platforms. Go to my YouTube channel right here. Subscribe right here on my YouTube channel as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right. Subscribe. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips, and go check out Pascal Shorts. Subscribe to those channels. Please and thank you. Hit that notification bell, set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it's random or breaking news. Hit that join button down below, become a member, check out my Patreon, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com, we got some really great stuff over there, PascalMerch.com. All right, guys, good morning. It is very early. In fact, I made a mistake because I thought I had the wrong time. So I thought the trial, and thank God they're running late, but I thought this trial was supposed to happen in about 15 minutes from now. So, like, it was supposed to originally start my time at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, and I misread that. I was wrong. It was supposed to start 45 minutes ago, but there's been quite a delay today, as you guys can see right here. This is the courtroom. We're waiting for this moment. All right. And I'm telling you right now, this is going to be very interesting. So I apologize for my tardiness. I thought it was going to be on later. You know, I was an hour behind. I was an hour off. I did the math, the time math wrong. OK, so we are here. I ran down here to get everything turned on, get everything going so that we can see this moment. We've been covering this case for a while now. And if you guys don't know about this Courtney Clenney case, we are going to talk about that briefly before we go into the sentencing moments. But these are the moments. This is the moment that we are waiting for, or at least this is the plea deal hearing. So I don't know, honestly, like, you know, I'm not a lawyer. OK, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen today. I don't know if she's just pleading, you know, she's just going to plead guilty and then her sentencing comes another day, or if she's going to get sentenced within the same day. We'll find out. But there may be victim impact statements made. I don't know. But we are here to find out exactly what is going on. Okay, now here's the other thing. All right. And again, good morning to every single last one of y'all. Come on in. I know a lot of people didn't know I was going to hop on this morning I totally forgot to mention this yesterday during my IRL stream. Yeah, we're here to cover this. We are going to be covering Tupac, the Tupac Shakur trial. That starts today, too. So it is a very, very busy day today. And then, of course, you know, if there's any updates on anything that's going on in the world, we're going to be talking about all them mugs and then some as well. So it's a very busy, it's going to be a very busy couple of weeks. It's going to be a very busy month. But I'm here for it. We gonna get some work in. All right. So for those of y'all who don't know, as we wait, all right, as we wait, because they haven't started. As soon as they start, we will be talking. Trust and believe. We will be watching. We'll be checking it out and all that. But one thing is for sure. A lot of people are wondering, hey, what's this whole Courtney Clenney case all about? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure I got all the right stuff here. One thing is for sure. This woman really, she is something else. I will tell you that. I will definitely tell you that. One thing is for sure. Hold on. Let me just pull up her photo. For those of y'all who don't know who Courtney Clenney is, she the blonde lady right there. All right. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, we don't know Billy Box. This is what she's claiming. Okay. She's claiming that he was a volatile individual. But right now, we won't ever find out about that. Why? Because he's dead. So we can't hear anything about that. So this is Courtney Clenney. All right. I guess she went by Courtney Taylor on OF. I think that's what she went by. I get it confused all the time. But Courtney Clenney, that's her in the red and in the swimsuit. Now, the guy right behind her, his name is Christian Obumseli. Now, he also goes by, his nickname was Toby among his family and friends. All right. Now, in Miami, they had a really nice high-rise apartment. Something really, really tragic happened. She took the life of Christian Obumseli. She gets arrested, gets yanked out of this high-rise, this swanky high-rise Miami apartment, and she's there claiming that this whole thing was self-defense. I got to do the dun-dun-dun. Now, here's the thing. We didn't have everything yet at that time. She first took his life. Then she apparently, the timeline in which after he lost his life or after he was attacked, because she stabbed him, okay, in the chest, the first thing she does, she doesn't call 911. She calls family. Yeah. That's the first thing she does. She doesn't call 911. She calls family. Now, if the timeline is correct, and if my memory serves me correctly, that's exactly what she did. Now, she claims it was self-defense. There has been a lot of footage, a lot of information showing that this was a very toxic relationship. All right. Now, let me just remind you, she is an OnlyFans model. All right. That's the only time I'm going to say that word. So when I say OF, that's what I'm talking about. All right. And hey, get it how you live it, I guess. Right. No judgment here. Get it how you live it. But here's the thing. Apparently, there may have been some problems within the relationship because of her career, because of the kind of content she was creating. There's been a lot of speculation that she was the breadwinner and he was not the breadwinner. He was basically, her hired hand as well as her boyfriend, lover, whatever. That caused a lot of tension, a lot of toxicity in the relationship. But he apparently was making his own bread. as well. But we don't know what actually happened here, why everything went to, to this crazy boiling point where she plunged a knife into the chest of this man. But here's the thing. There's been a treasure trove of videos that have been out here. All kinds of videos shot by other people showing them in the middle of very heated arguments where they're putting their hands on each other, so on and so forth. There's actually apartment complex video, surveillance video from the actual apartment complex that they live in, where they're having full-on fights in the elevator. So clearly there is a breadcrumb. There's breadcrumbs leading to where we are today. That this was a very volatile, very toxic, very violent relationship. And it could have been just DV from both sides. Or it could have just been DV from her side. And that's what she's claiming. She's claiming that this guy was the attacker and that she was the innocent one. That's what she's doing right now. That's what she was claiming before this plea deal. And now, suddenly out of nowhere, she's taking this plea deal. I don't know what happened. I don't know what the pivot is all about, why she made that pivot, because she was willing to fight tooth and nail, saying that she was innocent, that she didn't do anything, so on and so forth. But right now, she is taking a plea deal. And the question is, what is that plea deal? What's going to happen within this, in this trial? And what's next for her, right? How long is she going to be locked up for? She also said this too, which is also crazy. I'm putting her face back up here. She also said this too. She said that she was across the kitchen and she threw the knife at Christian and it plunged into his chest. Yeah, that's what she claims. She claims that they were arguing. He was about to approach her like he was about to attack her. He was about to strike her down, right? And as he's on his way walking across the kitchen, she throws the knife and it goes straight into his chest. She didn't know it was going to happen. She didn't know it was going to go in his chest like that. Oh, God, no. Oh, no. I don't know if I don't know if she's a ninja. I don't know if she's like a trained assassin, but from the last I checked, it's damn near impossible to lunge a knife into the chest of somebody just by throwing it across the room. I mean, it ain't the Matrix. We ain't in a movie. This is real life. And we're talking about a regular kitchen knife, not like a knife that's been sharpened, like where, like a samurai sword. This is a regular kitchen butcher knife type thing, steak knife, whatever, that you use to eat on the regular. And she's trying to claim that she went and she threw it from across the room and it lunged and plunged right into his chest. She had no body-to-body contact with this guy. And that she was doing that out of self-defense. Yeah, guys. This is what she's claiming. At least that's what she was claiming before this plea deal. Here's some other things that have been really crazy about this, too. There's been footage showing her going to the bar. This is like days, not even days. Like, I think it was like the very next day she's seen out in public grabbing drinks with her papa at a bar, like a swanky little like hotel bar, which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But there's footage of her getting called out while she's at the bar with her pa. Basically saying, what are you doing here? Why are you even here? You just took the life of a man. Why are you sitting here drinking your little stemware, having your little Cosmo, and you're having your little Sex in the City moment with your papa when you got a man who's dead? And you're claiming it's self-defense when you just took his life. She is so, like, for me and what I've seen, the footage that we've seen, this girl is so out of touch with reality that she's too busy trying to look cute and enjoying her OF money and the content that she's making, that she doesn't even realize that there's repercussions for the things that she's being accused of doing. And that instead of her going out and having a drink, a little Cosmo with her papa, which is even more out of touch, because that's your dad. Your dad should be like, honey, I don't think we should. How about we just order in the drinks, right? How about we just do room service? The fact that she's out there with her own dad shows me how out of touch this woman is, how much she really does believe that she didn't do any wrong. It's crazy, guys. Okay? And yes, CJ. All right. There's so much, okay? You guys need to watch the video footage and text. It wasn't him, and I don't even like him, but it wasn't him. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, there's some things about Christian that aren't so great. Okay, there's things that he has said in the past. It's not great. I will say that. But that does not mean that this guy should no longer be on this planet. Okay? And if it was a toxic relationship, if it was DV on both sides and their language was violence, or their love language resorted to violence, it's still, and it was on both sides, it still doesn't mean that he deserves to have, it still doesn't mean he deserves to be dead, right? Okay? And for her to sit here and say that it was self-defense. You see what I'm saying? So again, this is a very bad situation. And what's even more strange, even more wild, is that we were expecting her to, you know what I mean, fight this out. Because it looked like she and her parents were trying to do some dirty. Because it seemed like they were trying to hide evidence, okay, from her computer and all that. Like I said, this is bad, all right? This woman is so out of touch, it's insane. There's even a moment, and I'm trying to see if I can find it. Hold on. Yeah. There's some crazy. Let me just show this to you guys. This is just insane. Hold on. Let me just show this to you guys. This happened. Okay, so just a little, I don't know, background story. Okay. She was awaiting a hearing. Okay, because they've been pushing this. All right, they've been delaying this trial for a little bit. So she's in there, and I don't know what she was doing. Okay, but there's a moment in this right here. I'm going to show it to you. This is her waiting for a trial, and this is, to me, how out of touch this woman is. Just take a look. Like, how out of touch are you that you're in a courtroom, You're being accused of taking the life of somebody, and you're doing this kind of stuff in the courtroom. What makes you think that that is okay? What the heck is it? I mean, it's very unserious. Okay? Like who's doing that? Who's doing that? Like who's really doing that? You know what I'm saying? Who's doing that in a courtroom? You're up for murder. You're up for murder. Come on now. You're up for murder and you're doing this. You're doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like she's so out of touch that this woman's so out of touch that she's doing this. I don't remember how old she is, but she for damn sure acting like she's 6. Okay? She doesn't even realize that she's on a murder trial. You see what I'm saying? That is a big problem. To me, that's a big problem. Okay? That's a big problem. I know it's just like a tongue thing, and she like kind of does this little like twerking thing. I don't know. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And then she's talking about somebody's. It's like she's talking about somebody's. Like, did she suddenly see what I'm saying? Like, is her friend? Does she have another OF friend in there? Did somebody get? She's like, oh, like she's talking about. Did somebody get a BBL? And she's like, I haven't seen you in a long time. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, girl, look at that booty. Woo, it's round. It's spherical. You know what I mean? How out of touch are you that you're doing that kind of stuff in a courtroom? That's what I'd like to know. But here we go. She's in the house right now as we speak. Take a look. I just want to see her enter real quick, and then we'll go back to live here in just a second.
Was Pittman here? Pittman was here? Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to Court TV for the content. You got the Obumseli family in there. Her family's there as well. A bunch of reporters. Shimon Lee. It ain't me. You know what? Hold on 2 seconds, y'all. No worries, babies. Oh, it's everybody. Everybody's having issues. Okay. Don't forget to hit the like button down below, please, and thank you. And if you're watching and you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So I'm wondering, here's the thing. I'm wondering if there's going to be impact statements, if there's going to be anything of that sort going on after she takes the plea deal. I don't know. I mean, she was signing some papers, so clearly she's sticking with it. It's not like she's coming in here and going, I'm not innocent. I changed my mind. I'm not innocent. She's literally taking a plea deal. So we saw her sign some papers, so clearly that is what's going on. But the question is, what kind of plea deal did she get? And yeah, her face had karma. You ain't wrong. There's no remorse, it seems like. But it's been years now since she did it. But at the same time, I know. You know what I mean? Yeah, the brother, everybody. You could tell the whole family, the Obumseli family, doesn't even want to look at her. If you notice, they're looking straight forward. They don't even want to see this woman. What she did is diabolical. Diabolical. All right. She's going to do just fine. She's going to do just fine in prison. Okay? They're going to love her in prison. They probably love her in jail right now. Trust. Yeah, hey, sugar. She's only sorry for herself. That's the thing. But that's the thing. That's what we're dealing with. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a narcissist. We're dealing with a sociopath, in my personal opinion. The fact that she's just trying to push this and make it seem like she didn't do anything and anything like that, and that, oh, this was self-defense, and trying to make it seem like he was the attacker and all that. She's the one who plunged the knife into this man's chest. Period, y'all. And for those of y'all who don't know, yes, Oya, today, Oya, what's up, Oya Scott? Yeah, today is going to be a double whammy because we got this and then we got the Tupac trial. So as soon as we get done with this, I'll be back on, a little after, and we will be going into Tupac Shakur murder trial time. Okay, because Keefe D. Okay, we got Keefe D up on the murder chopping block, and he's trying to say that he didn't do it, yet he said in a whole bunch of ways that he did do it. So this is going to be a very interesting one with the Tupac thing, but that's decades in the waiting, decades in the works. I'm sorry. We've been waiting decades to get somebody brought to justice for the murder of Tupac. So we will be on that later on today. Okay. And here's the other thing too. Okay. So later on this late morning, very early afternoon, we'll be deep diving into that. And like I said, right now it's going to be, let me just mute this really quick. Right now it's going to be nothing but jury selection. If I'm correct, starting over the next couple days, they're going to be doing jury selection, and then they're going to go into trial. Once they actually do that, obviously we will be going hard in the paint with all of that. From my understanding, it will be televised, or it will have cameras in the courtroom. This is a very, very, very big deal. The Tupac Shakur trial is a very big deal. But during that time, we will be talking about everything leading up to the trial. Okay. his, moments before his murder, what happened after his murder. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to cover, and everything that has to do with Keefe D and his lying ass, okay?
Thank you, everyone.
But let's get into this, shall we? So stay tuned. We got things today.
Good morning. So here in the case of the state of Florida versus Courtney Clenney, with the parties
come on.
State your appearances for the record, starting with the state.
Yes, Your Honor. Sean Abuhoff on behalf of the state, Kathleen Hogue on behalf of the state, and then on behalf of the next of kin, Mr. Larry Hanfield.
Good morning. And on behalf of Ms. Clenney.
Good morning, Your Honor. Frank Prieto on behalf of Ms. Clenney, along with my co-counsel, Ms. Sabrina Puglisi, and Ms. Diane Karamez. Ms. Clenney is present in custody, Your Honor.
And also, Judge, I apologize for interrupting, but also the next of kin is present. Mr. Hanfield is going to introduce them.
All right, thank you.
Yes, please stand. First, we have the mom, Mr. Puccino Amasella. We have the brother, Jeffrey. Would you please stand? We have Karen. And we have other family members, Auntie. We have Clara. And we have Samuel.
Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you.
And Judge, for the record, she's printing on page 2 of Your Honor's calendar.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. Abuhoff, I understand the state will be filing an amended information at this time.
Yes, Judge, and in anticipation of this plea, the state has filed a amended information charging the defendant with 1 count of manslaughter with a deadly weapon. It is a first-degree felony, punishable up to 30 years in state prison. That changes her guideline score from what it was to now 124.5 months in state prison, up to 30 years in state prison.
All right, Mr. Prieto.
Wow.
Yeah, Judge, we've entered plea not guilty, demand discovery, and request trial by jury at this time.
That being said, I understand the parties have reached a resolution in this case where Ms. Clenney will be pleading guilty. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right.
That is
Mr.
correct, Judge.
Abuhoff?
I am passing up the written plea agreement that is signed by not only the state, the defendant, but also all of her attorneys. A major part of this, Judge, is that she's pleading guilty to this amended information, to the charge that was announced just now. There's a factual proffer that's a part of this plea agreement. We're going to ask Your Honor to read it. She will be agreeing to that factual proffer, but most importantly, she is agreeing and admitting that she is the cause of the stab wound that Mr. Obamselli received, and then that she is taking criminal responsibility for her actions. As part of this plea agreement, the state is willing to accept her plea. We've discussed this at length with the next of kin and certainly with Mr. Hanfield. And certainly when there's any agreement, no one is happy at the end of this, and we understand that. But the agreement that the state is willing to accept is that the defendant would be adjudicated guilty. She'll be sentenced to 6 years in state prison, followed by 5 years of reporting probation. As part of her probation, she must complete a mental health evaluation and treatment. There's a time frame in which she is to complete it. That's part of the plea agreement. Substance abuse evaluation and treatment, that's also a time constraint that's going to be in the agreement. And then it's 60 days, Your Honor. And then the batterer's intervention program. If she does violate her probation in any way at any point, she's waiving extradition back to Florida, and as well that she faces back to her guidelines, which are 124.5 months in state prison, up to 30 years in state prison. Although not specifically in this plea agreement, the state attorney has asked me to discuss the topic specifically that it discusses, and it's important that nobody who is a convicted murderer to killing someone, if someone is convicted of murder, they are not to financially benefit as a result of that. That's Florida Statute 944.512.
What?
It's effectively our iteration of the Son of Sam law, but it is a statutory lien that attaches automatically, and if the Attorney General's office were to decide to seek some form of lien or process in that, then that we would be supporting them in that. We do believe that nobody should benefit financially from murdering somebody.
No doubt.
So we will provide any evidence that they request. We'll work hand in hand with the Attorney General's office if they so seek to do some form of lien or some financial proceeding against Ms. Clenney, understanding that she will be released at some point and may seek to financially benefit as a result of this, but it's not
That's
part of the
definitely
plea
why she's
agreement.
smiling.
But it is.
This is the
something
dumbest
that
agreement I've
attaches
ever heard.
automatically.
You got to be out your
Mr.
freaking mind.
Rachel,
7
I'll hear
years?
from you, as to the plea agreement in its written form, is that your understanding of the plea?
That is correct, Judge, and all the conditions and all the agreements.
This judge better give her
contained
30.
In that document, outside the four corners of those
What?
multiple-page document, we do not agree that, number one, 944.512 is constitutional. We reserve our right to challenge that.
At this point, that's
This
not
is
part of this
ridiculous.
procedure. It attaches automatically. It is constitutional. It is the law. What they do, subsequent hearings, is to them. But as we stand here today, because it does attach, I'm just simply announcing that we will work hand in hand with the Attorney General's office. It needs no further discussion, but the fact is that no one should financially benefit from murdering somebody.
No.
Well, Judge,
Mr. Rachel?
I do have the right to speak on my client's behalf, and so I'm going to put on the record that we believe that statute's unconstitutional. It's not an issue for the plea agreement, like Mr. Admiral said. It is 100% accurate. However, we reserve the right to challenge that in the future. We do not think it's constitutional, and it would be challenged should any Attorney General seek to enforce that, but that's an argument for another day should it arise.
All right, very good. In
This is
preparation
dumb.
for today's proceedings, I have been privy to the agreed upon plea, and I will ratify the agreement of the parties at this time based on the following. This case originated 4 years ago in 2022. Since then, the parties, both the state of Florida and the defense in this case, have engaged in diligent and extensive preparation of the case. That preparation consisted of a thorough investigation that included, but was not limited to, the routine discovery process that is involved in a complex criminal case, as well as literally thousands of pages of legal motions and responses, the consultation of experts from both sides who opined on various legal issues, such as self-defense, battered partner syndrome, and issues regarding manner of death. Based on the investigation of the case and the resulting legal analysis of the strengths and weaknesses of this case from both the state's perspective as well as the defense, and perhaps most importantly, the victim's family's wishes to bring closure to this horrific and life-changing experience, the parties have reached a resolution that this court will not frustrate. The parties have also agreed on a factual proffer, as stated by the prosecutor, that I will now read into the record. The state of Florida and the defendant agree as to the following factual proffer. A. Christian Obumseli, hereafter the victim, and the defendant began dating in late 2020. Their relationship is defined by the parties as being extremely tempestuous and combative, as both have been involved in numerous domestic violence incidents. B. The victim and the defendant moved to South Florida in January 2022, taking up residence in a condominium located at One Paraiso Residences, located in Miami-Dade County. There were many complaints made by residents and security staff lodged against the couple during the 3 months that they resided in the complex. As a result, the management company was in the process of evicting the couple. C. On April 3rd, 2022, Miami Police and Miami Fire Rescue responded to their condo after a 911 call was made reporting a stabbing. Officers found the victim with a singular stab wound to the chest. After the incident, the defendant provided a knowingly, intelligent, and voluntarily made statement to the police, confirming that she was responsible for the stab wound. The knife penetrated approximately 8 centimeters into the victim's chest, puncturing the right subclavian artery. The victim was transported to Jackson Memorial Hospital, where he died from his injuries. Madam Clerk, would you please swear in Ms. Clenney?
Yes, Your Honor. Raise your right hand, ma'am. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
You can put your hand down. Please state your full name for the record.
Courtney Clenney,
What is your date of birth?
4/29/1996.
How far did you get in school?
I have no GED.
Do you have any history of mental illness?
I was diagnosed with severe PTSD.
Are you currently under
Severe
the influence
PTSD.
of drugs, alcohol, or medication?
Stop.
No, Your Honor.
Have you understood everything that was discussed with your attorneys prior to coming to court, as well as what we're doing here in court today?
Yes, Your Honor.
I understand you wish to plead guilty to manslaughter in exchange for the plea that was read into the record a moment ago. Has anyone, including your own attorney, promised you anything other than that?
No.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or coerced you to accept a plea at this time?
No.
Do you understand if you are not a United States citizen, this plea will result in negative immigration consequences such as deportation or removal?
Yes.
Have you spoken to your attorneys about that, and do you still wish to accept this plea knowing that?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to a trial?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to remain silent, and that silence cannot be used against you at trial?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to testify?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to confront, cross-examine, and present witnesses? Do you understand you're waiving your right to hold the state of Florida to its burden of proving the case beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes.
Do you understand you're waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
The following question does not seem to apply in this case, but I have to ask in every case. Do you understand that the offense to which you are pleading is a sexually violent or sexually motivated offense, or if you've been previously convicted of such an offense, this plea may result in involuntary civil commitment as a sexually violent predator upon the completion of your sentence?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand if you violate the terms and conditions of your probation, you're facing up to 30 years in the state prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you still wish to plead guilty?
I do.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty, or you believe this plea is in your best interest?
Yes.
Have you spoken to your attorneys about the plea?
I have.
Have they answered all of your questions?
Yes.
Do you need any more time to discuss the plea with your attorneys?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with their services?
I am.
I'd like to talk to you for a moment about the written plea agreement that I have in my hands.
This is ridiculous.
It is 8 pages.
This is ridiculous.
And on the bottom left of each page, it says defendant's initials, CC. Are those your initials?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you reviewed every line, every word, every page of this plea agreement with your attorneys?
Yes.
Now turning over to page 6 of 8. It's entitled Defendant's Representation of Effectiveness of Counsel. Is that your signature over the line that says Courtney Clenney, defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then each
Whoever
of your
moving
attorneys
needs
has
stop-
also
needs to stop
signed
moving.
on page 7 of 8.
My
Mr.
Lord.
Prieto, Ms. Laura Puglisi, and Ms. Karamas. Are those your signatures?
Yes, Your Honor.
And finally, certificate of defendant on page 8 of 8. Once again, Courtney Clenney, defendant. Is that your signature on that line?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that even if I do not state orally here on the record that everything contained within this written plea agreement will be made part of your judgment and sentence, even if I don't say it out loud?
Yes.
Mr. Prieto, have you and your team reviewed all items of evidence disclosed by the state with Ms. Clenney?
We have, Your Honor.
Do the state or defense know of any items of physical evidence containing DNA that could exonerate the defendant? State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
None of it.
Does the defense waive PSI?
We waive PSI, Your Honor.
Do the state and defense stipulate to a factual basis? State?
State stipulates.
The
Defense?
defense will stipulate as contained in the plea agreement.
Ms. Clenney, I find the plea has been entered into knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently. That you understand the nature and
Crazy.
consequences of the plea. There's a factual basis for the plea, and that you're represented by good and competent counsel with whom you say you're satisfied. At this time, I will be adjudicating you, and I'm going to turn to page 3 of 8, to the charge of manslaughter with a deadly weapon. I'm sentencing you to 6 years in the state prison with all applicable credit for time served.
What?
Followed by 5 years of reporting probation.
Wow.
As a condition of that probation, you will complete a mental health evaluation and all required treatment deemed necessary. You will complete a substance abuse evaluation and complete all required treatment deemed necessary, as well as completing the batter's intervention program within
Wow.
the first year of probation. As
Wow.
I said, there are some other provisions contained within this written plea agreement that will be made part of the judgment and sentence. I'm assessing court costs and any and all statutory and mandatory fines. You will be fingerprinted. We should have DNA on file. Before we turn it to the victim impact portion, is there anything further on behalf of the state?
Victim impact statements.
Defense?
Yeah, Judge, I would just, as far as corrections and computing her time served.
Jeez.
To remember, she was initially detained in Hawaii when she was in the rehab facility. So her actual booking date here at TGK does not reflect all of her credit for time served. I don't have the date of arrest, but I believe.
Yeah, she's gonna be free in a couple years.
The date of arrest in Hawaii
Because of
was
time
August
served.
10th of 2022, so she should receive all credit for time served from that date moving forward.
Does the state
My
agree?
Lord, what
Judge, the
happened
only issue
here?
is going to be, one, there has to be an order for it.
What
Otherwise,
happened
it's going-
here?
Sign the order.
Otherwise, it's going to be from the time in which she was brought into custody, so.
Right, so
This
if
is
you're in
stupid.
agreement, let's draft an order, credit for time served on August 10th, 2022.
We will do that. We'll have it to your honor today.
All right, anything further on behalf of the defense?
Your Honor, permission to vomit?
All right, I'm filing the written plea agreement that I have now initialed and executed with the clerk. I'd like to now turn it over.
Come on,
to
internet.
Ann
This is,
Hill.
it's not us.
First, I would like to extend my deepest condolences to the Ogunselli family.
You're letting her
As I
walk
said
free.
previously, thank you all for making the time to come here
You're
today.
basically letting her
And I'm
walk
very, very
free. She took this man's life.
Judge, actually, before Mr. Hancock
She
goes
gonna be
facing
out in
the
like
entire
4
family,
years.
I believe we have Ms. Karen Akuna.
This
who
is
gonna be
dumb.
reading, the victim's mother's statement to the court.
Thank
This
you.
is dumb. This is okay? This is justice? She took that man's life. Period. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me, son. When did this murder happen? What year? Hold on, let me look that up.
As I stand
Yeah.
here to read my victim impact statement, I first give thanks
Wow.
to the Lord Almighty for his protection and guidance over our family throughout these past 4 years. I also want
Wow.
to thank the attorneys, the state attorney's office, Larry
Yep.
Hanfield,
4
and
years.
everyone who helped make sure
Wow.
that Christian's voice and our family's voices were heard.
This is
I
trash.
thank our family and our friends who called, prayed for us, checked on us, and stood beside us through this
Unbelievable.
very, very difficult journey. I am Christian's mother. Words can never fully explain how Christian's death has affected my life and the lives of everyone in our family. There is simply too much pain to put on paper. On April 4th, 2022, while I was at work, I received the call that no parent should ever have to receive. I was asked to give consent for my son's eyes to be donated. I had just talked to him the day before and had no knowledge that he had been killed. That was the darkest day of my life. And the
Yikes.
darkness continued to unfold as I learned Christian had been killed by his girlfriend, Courtney Clenney, someone he had trusted and loved. Since April 2022, I have lived with fear, anxiety, sleepless nights, heartache, and more tears than I could ever count. 4 years later, there are still nights when I cannot sleep. There are moments when my mind goes back to the last moments of Christian's life. As his mother, those thoughts are very difficult for me to carry. There was a joy in my life and in our family's life before Christian died that has never completely returned. His death did not only affect me, however. It affected my entire family, including his older brother, Jeffrey, his cousins, who were raised as siblings, and his grandmother, who loved him so much and called him her precious. We have all had to learn how to live with the empty place that cannot be filled. But I do not want Christian to be remembered only for how he died. Christian was my son. Everyone who knew Christian, who truly knew him, can attest that he was kind-hearted, compassionate, friendly, and respectful. He cared about other people. I remember one day when Christian and I were driving to a store. I stopped and I was going to give a homeless man a few dollars. Christian encouraged me to do much more than that. It was a small moment, but it showed the kind of heart he had. He saw another human being who needed help, and he wanted to make sure that that person had enough. Christian, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud that I had the privilege of being your mother. Those are the memories that no one can ever take from us and me. Nothing can erase the pain of the day that I buried my son. Nothing can describe what it feels like for a mother to stand at the grave of her child. There are also the things that will never happen for
Stop
me
it already, girl.
now that he's gone.
Stop.
The birthdays, the holidays we will not celebrate with him. The conversations we will never have. The person he would have continued to become. Those losses continue much longer after today's court case ends. For more than 4 years, we've lived with the loss every day and waited for accountability. Today closes a legal chapter, but it certainly doesn't close our grief. No sentence, no plea can bring back my son to me. My only hope is to carry his memory forward and to continue healing as a family. My prayer is that after today, Christian will simply not be remembered by the public as a name connected to a criminal case. He was a son, he was a brother, he was a cousin, he was a nephew and a grandson, and he was a friend to a lot of people. He was loved, he had a future, and his life had value and mattered. As a family, we are very private people. We have endured this loss while much of Christian's life and death have been discussed publicly and inaccurately to support a narrative created by Courtney, the person who took my son's life. There are parts of our grief that belong only to us, and I choose to keep those things within our family. But I want this court to understand this much. The loss of Christian did not end on April 4th, 2022. We carry it with us every day. Through everything, I continue to place my faith in God. Christian Toby Obunseli, I know you are with the Lord. Onwane Tilora, as your brother called you, which means the moon in the sky that shines for everyone. That is how I choose to remember you, as a light. Your legacy and your memory will remain with us. We miss you. We love you. May you continue to rest in peace, my son.
Thank you for those beautiful words.
And she'll be out in 2 years. Thank you so much for those beautiful words, but she'll be out in 2 years. No big deal. That's the most ridiculous thing I have ever freaking witnessed. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, y'all. Maybe some of y'all think she deserves to be out free because it was self-defense. I don't think it was at all.
May it please the court.
I really don't.
State representative of the state attorney's office,
Wow.
Courtney Clenney. On behalf of the Umbraselli family, I would like to read into the record their final comments. April 4th of 2022, Christian Umbraselli suffered a painful and tragic death at the hands of the person he loved. Sadly, that will be the person that would ultimately take his life. Christian loved deeply. It was his love that caused him to stay. Even after being previously cut in the face previously stabbed in the leg by Courtney. He would later write that his love would eventually get him killed.
Courtney's parents,
In
that's
many
her dad.
ways, he predicted his own death at the hands of Courtney Clenney. Unfortunately, like so many individuals who will get caught up in not loving relationship, but just destructive relationship, he stayed. And we are here today because what he believed became a reality. By resolving this case today by way of a plea, Courtney Clenney avoids being judged by a jury of her peers. But that will never be able to escape the ultimate and final judgment for anyone's conduct. That judgment can only be handled by our Creator, our Almighty God. Your actions you need to know as you sit here today and as you finish out serving your time for punishment, that you have left the Ambaselli family with a void that can never be filled. The pain that continues to endure today as painful as it was when they learned of his untimely death. It is a pain that will never completely go away. A chair where a family gathers for holidays will always remain empty. The Ambaselli family has been forced into joining a membership that no family should ever want to be a part of. And as a family of mothers of murdered children. As a family, we still cannot get past the fact that Kristen was stabbed while you remained on the phone with your mom. You then called downstairs to security, and then your third and final call, which should have been your first call, was to 911. In the
Right there.
meantime, you offered no life-saving measures to try to save Kristen's life. To us, that is inhumane. Kristen was someone's son, someone's brother, someone's nephew, someone's cousin, someone's friend, and most importantly, he was deeply loved. His life had meaning. He had a future. And his family deserved to grow old with him. He was robbed of
Damn
all
right.
those things, while you still have all yours to enjoy. Nothing can bring Kristen back. Nothing can erase what happened. And nothing can fill the space that will forevermore be left empty. We will carry Kristen's memory, his love, and his legacy with us for the rest of our lives. I thank the court for giving us, as a family, the opportunity to be heard and to let this be a part of the record. But lastly, through it all, we never even received an apology and an acknowledgement for the loss that changed our lives forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hayfield. Would anyone else like to speak at this time?
I don't believe so, Judge. Not from the state.
Once again, for the entire family, thank you for being here. Thank you for the beautiful words that you read and what Mr. Hayfield read. Thank you for sharing the collage of pictures of Christian with me. And I really, really pray that his memory is a blessing to all of you. Thank you. Is there anything further on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Not by the defense, Judge.
Okay. I want to thank the attorneys once again for your diligent preparation and professionalism throughout the process. The court will be in recess at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
All rise.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that internet. Their internet.
Take seats.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Boy, oh boy, I'm gonna kill you. She got
Well, that was trash. They have recess now.
Where you wanna go make a copy?
Can I make a copy of that?
Maybe you want something. Well, hold on. Give me a copy of it. Take everything.
So, let me get this super chat. I can prep too. Thank you so much for the super chat. Had this been done 6 months after, would 6 years with five probation have been an acceptable sentence or no? Time served sucks, but it is still time served, and I get that. I don't think that she should have been. I don't think she should have been given a 6-year sentence. That's what I think. Okay, regardless if she takes a 6-year sentence or if she takes if she gets a 7-year sentence, regardless if she had already been locked up for 4 years, I am still not happy with this particular sentencing. Okay, now I don't know why they gave her that kind of deal. That's one thing I think is a little bit outrageous. Just like Danielle just said, this is outrageous in my personal opinion. They're all smiles and happy about this because they know for a fact that she's going to be out in basically a little, maybe a little less than 2 years. Because for a fact they're going to try to see if they can expedite some of her sentencing to see if she can take, see if she can get out earlier. So we'll see about that. But I mean, her team is very happy with this. I mean, this is a big win for them. In my personal opinion, this is a very big win, in my personal opinion, for her. And she'll be able to get back out and make content all over again. She's going to find another Toby, and she's going to be able to make more content, more BS content like she has. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like this. I don't like this sentencing at all. All right. She's already been in there for 4 years. She's already done, approximately 4 years already. So then 2 more years and she's out. She just 2 more Christmases and she's out. And that's it. And they could literally try to get her out a little bit earlier. So again, we'll see what happens with that, right? It's kind of like, as long as she's on good behavior. It's like same thing with Diddy. Remember, Diddy had, a certain amount of years that he was going to serve. Then his actual release date got moved up. So he was going to an earlier date. So he was going to be able to get out early. But then he got into that fight. So his release date went back to what it was in the beginning because he was thrown in the shoe. You know what I mean? He got into a fight. He shouldn't have gotten into a fight at all, right? So again, 6 years, exactly, Heather, okay? That's it. She is getting 6 years served in prison, 5 years probation, okay? And she's already served 4 of those 6 years. So she'll be out in 2 years. So this is a huge deal. This is a massive, shocking deal. I thought it was going to be something different. I thought maybe she was going to get like a deal for like 10 years or something like that. Something, you know? Shoot, 15 or something. But nope. Unbelievable. So in 2 years' time, she'll be back out in these streets making OF content with a brand new man named Toby. With a brand new Toby. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, and I think Ella, I think she'll be out way before 2 years is up. So she gone. She done. Okay? No, I agree, Billy. I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you, Billy. Okay? I'm with you, Billy. She took that man's life. She's getting out in 2 years for taking this man's life. But I'm going to tell you something here. Her life is not going to be good after this. You understand that, right? Just because she gets to get out free doesn't mean that she's going to be able to find a good job. Doesn't mean that she's going to have a good life. Her life is ruined. Everyone knows who she is and what she did. No one's going to want to mess with her. I mean, there's going to be crazy individuals that are going to be like, yes, I'll do whatever it takes to be with her. I don't care. You know, there's going to be people who are crazy enough to want to rock with her. But I'm saying right now, she's not going to have a job. She's going to have to basically work for the rest of her life. And that's if she stays, okay? That's if she stays clean and sober. And that's an if. That's a strong if. She's going to come back into the world. She's going to see the stresses of the world are going to start bothering her, and she's going to get right back on that stuff. Watch. Karma's coming for her. She may be smirking and smiling right now, but it's coming for her. She should not be getting out in 2 years. She should not be going out in 2 years, if you ask me. Yeah, this is very disheartening. And I don't know what's up with this this sound. Let's see what's going on here. Or this video. I don't know what's going on with the video. I'm going to try another one.
Can I go to the restroom?
Let's see. Yeah, they're all bad. Went over the law and crime, same issue. Everybody's having the same issue. Everyone's having the same doggone issue. I don't know why the footage is so trashy.
Yes, sir.
Did she just say, hold on.
I knew you were going to be as
I can't do you like that, Gus.
Well, that's what you
There's nothing to say. I need to go to the restroom. Can I go to the restroom?
I wish the reception wasn't so trashy. Is that it? Is that it? I guess that's it. Interesting. That is it, I guess. Hold on, I'm checking other places. Yeah, that's it. I'm still very shocked. I mean, I'm just looking at people's comments on like Long Crimes Live and Court TV's live, and people are still like shook. Like, what? She's getting out in 2 years for taking this man's life? This is insane. Okay? Hold on. Let me check something here. That's just insane, guys. I'm sorry. That's just insane. I apologize. Okay? But this is absolutely nuck and futz. Hold on. I'm checking something. They have better reception over here too. Nope, they have bad reception here too. Yeah, I just went over to, I'm just hopping over to a bunch of different places to see what's going on. You know what I mean? And hold on.
Like 25 years then?
Yeah, this is just really insane. I know I keep saying that. Oh, it's insane. It's like, really? Is it insane? Yeah, it's because it's insane. I'm just gonna keep it real. It's insane. This whole thing is very, very, very freaking insane. I'm very shocked. To be completely honest, I'm very shocked about this situation. I mean, I expected different. Now, because of a plea deal, I wasn't expecting her to be locked up for life. Not like a Brian Kohberger situation, right? Brian Kohberger's situation was literally he was looking at the DP. He was looking at the full-on death penalty. If he did not take that plea deal, he would have been standing right in front of a firing squad and losing his life. Okay? So he had a choice. Either fight tooth and nail or take this plea deal, right? Fight tooth and nail, become guilty because they have enough stuff against him that's going to get him to be found guilty, and then get the DP, and then he gets thrown in front of a firing squad, and then it's a wrap for him, right? Or he takes a plea deal with life behind bars for the rest of the remainder of his existence, but he never, he doesn't have to deal with the DP, right? That sounds like a decent plea deal, in my personal opinion, right? You either walk down and fight, losing everything you got, okay, like your life, especially when you know you guilty as hell, or you take the plea deal, get life behind bars. So with her taking a plea deal, I'm thinking, okay, she's probably going to get 15 years? Something like that. You're right. I'm thinking 15, right? Not life behind bars, but, something where she has to have a significant time spent behind bars. And you can even also say, time served as well. So still be about 10 to 11 years of her behind bars. Okay, cool. But that's not at all what happened here. Instead, she gets 6 years in jail, 5 years of probation, and she, of course, has to go through a whole bunch of certain types of programs and all that, substance abuse programs, so on and so forth. She got to do all those different things, and she has the 5 years probation. She got to make sure she checks all those boxes before she could be a true 110% free woman. Now, here's the other thing, too. It seemed like they wanted to make sure that she could not benefit financially off of this situation. That's one thing that the family, it seems like that they were trying to do. They were trying their best to be like, she cannot make money off this situation. At least that's how I was gathering it. It was kind of hard to hear everything. But that's the vibe I was getting. But nonetheless, you have that, right? And then you have her getting 6 years behind bars. 4 has already been served. She'll be out in less than 2. And then it's 5 years probation. And even while she's in 5 years probation, she can still make content. She can still go back on OF. She can still go back to what she was doing before. Only thing is she going to have to stay sober. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, another Black Panther. Man, thank you so much for the super chat. Drew like Nino Brown. If you know, you know. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. So again, I'm not happy with that result. Like I said, I knew she was going to get some sort of plea deal, or some sort of deal. But that one was way too sweet. Way too sweet. Way too easy for her. Why? And then here's the other thing too. And of course, this is something I question as far as like the prosecution. Do they have a conversation with the family at all? Do they have a conversation with the family to be like, hey, we're going to offer this deal. How do you guys feel about that? Were they in on this deal? Because why would they give her 6 years? How is that justified? How is that justice served? That's not justice served. That's barely a slap on the wrist, in my personal opinion, for taking the life of somebody? Unless they know something that we don't know. Unless they know something that we don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. That maybe there's something that we don't know that's going on, that's popping off, that we don't know. That's going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just insane. I'm sorry, y'all. This is just this is just insane to me. Sorry, not sorry. I just think this is just ridiculous. I'm checking some other places here really quick to see if there's anything reported. Hold on.
So, and at that point, we'll have Joel on camera.
Hold on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm wondering what happened here. They said they're in recess. So I don't know what's going on. Shoot, man. Shoot. All right, man. So that's just ridiculous. I don't know. They were going into recess. I don't know what's going on now. The reception down there is absolute dog water. Okay, it's terrible. That's not us. It's them. Okay. That's exactly, Heather. That's literally my prediction. That she's going to hop back on her addictions and she's going to go do something stupid and crazy and she'll be locked up again soon. Like once she gets, freed, that she's going to do something really stupid, right? She got 2 more Christmases behind bars. Then she's going to get spat back out into the public eye. She'll probably get back to what she was doing before, making that kind of content. She will probably get an uptick because of what she did. But it seemed like the family was trying to stop her from being able to financially benefit from the death of their son which I totally understand. Maybe writing a book, getting paid to do an exclusive interview, selling the rights to her story for a movie or something like that. They're literally trying to stop her from being able to, make some cash off this. And again, she could use her likeness and go, and this could turn into all these guys going and checking her out because now they know, now she has more fame because of what she did. And they're all going and checking out her OF channel, her page or whatever it is, right? It's just great. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. So there is a possibility that she could find success, when she gets out of prison. There's a possibility. OF doesn't discriminate. They don't care if you have a criminal record or not. They don't care. You're making content, and if people are going in and checking you out on that content, then she could go back. Like I said, she can go right back to what she was doing before. But this, to me, is diabolical. This is diabolical. But there it is, guys. 6 years, 5 years probation, 4 years has already been served. Four years have already been served. That's just insane. You know what, Jenon, you ain't wrong. I'm surprised there isn't a Give, Send, Go already set up for her. There probably will be. Give it a second, because there's going to be somebody out there going, oh, she had every right to take that man's life. No, she didn't. I don't think she did. I don't think that it was a situation of self-defense. I really don't think it was. You've seen the countless videos of how volatile they were and how volatile she was in a lot of these videos. She was the one hitting him. She's the one who was attacking him a lot of times, at least in the photos, at least in the videos that we've seen. Okay. So I don't know. This is a interesting, shocking, whatever you want to call it, turn of events. And I was hoping that maybe the family would have been outside saying something. Okay, Court TV is outside. Hold on. Looks like there's more.
In the second row. No. I'm trying for you. The one who was reading was the one reading on behalf of the mom. I think I heard that was Karen.
The reception is trash. Come on. She said recess, so they didn't say court is adjourned, so I'm wondering what's going on. Something I'd like to know. Now it's out again. Diggity dang. Okay. Well, they're trying to do some. I'm sure they're trying to figure some things up. There we go.
Is it on?
Picture's up. Picture is up. So real quick, just a quick question for you guys. So last night, I went to an event with some St. Louis Cardinal players, and I was curious. Yeah, I think Jane. I think the cameraman is new. He's got to be. Speaking of cameraman, yesterday I tried out a camera guy for this live feed, this IRL that we did yesterday. I saw a bunch of you guys come in and tune in, and I appreciate you guys like tuning in to the show or tuning into the IRL. There's a lot more of those kinds of things coming very, very soon, and I want to hear your thoughts on it. Did you enjoy it? Did you watch it? Did you watch some of it? Did you enjoy it? All that. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more, but I want to see if they're going to, they're clearly stepping up to talk here in just a second. Let's take a listen.
Any questions? Yes. Well, this was a resolution that was agreed to. Her accepting responsibility and in pleading guilty is the first step of accountability. What the family wanted was accountability. And at least today we received that in a public record, in a public courtroom. It takes away all the horrific things that has been stated in the media trying to undermine and destroy Christian's life. But today, closure comes by virtue of she stood up, pled guilty, and accepted responsibility and took responsibility acknowledging that she was the one responsible. She caused the death of his, and the stabbing was a result of a criminal act, not an act of self-defense, not an accident, but an act that she did willfully, and today she accepted full responsibility for her actions.
You said step one, since laid the groundwork for civil.
All I can say is that I'm not speaking about any civil matter. I'm speaking only solely about the criminal matter.
Do you think the incident with the state attorneys being one of the top prosecutors being forced to get out the case, do you think that whole incident with the laptop issue had a play at going to trial, maybe we're seeing some things? Does that at all connect to what happened here today?
No. Any incident in reference to the laptop had no bearing. Cases generally are resolved by way of plea prior to trial. This was no different than any other case. The most important thing is that the family wanted someone to accept responsibility, and the family saw that today. She is a convicted felon for the rest of her life. She will be, when she gets out of prison, she will be on 5 years probation. The crime for which she pled guilty to and was convicted as a felon, if she violates probation, carries a 30-year prison sentence. And so therefore, no amount of time was going to bring Kristen back. The family was aware of that. But at least this gives them an opportunity to try to bring closure to a very traumatic, life-changing experience. No family should ever have to go through what D'Ambaselli had to go to. And they learned of his death through a telephone call, someone from Miami requesting to donate his organs. That's the worst call that anybody should ever have to suffer.
Did the family expect to hear from Courtney Clenney today? Did they want to hear from her today?
Well, I don't think there's anything that she could say that can change what happened. I think that she should have at least apologized, but even her apology would not have removed what she did April of 2022.
If she doesn't violate her probation, though, she's out in 2 years.
Is that hard to accept? It is the reality of the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system, when you're dealing with pleas, is give and take. I represent the family. I don't represent the state attorney's office. Based upon wanting this matter to come to a closure, the family was aware of it and allowed for the resolution to take place as it did today.
Is there something that was risky in going to trial that could have messed up the state's case and maybe got an acquittal?
Well, I think in every case there's always a give and take. There's nothing guaranteed. She could have been found guilty. She could have been found guilty of a lesser, such as manslaughter. Under manslaughter with discharge in the state of Florida, the minimum sentence is probation. The maximum would have been 30 years prison. And so therefore, it's very difficult to speculate as relates to what would have happened at trial. We believe that the evidence would have shown, most importantly, that at the time in which Kristen received the knife in his chest, there was no imminent threat of danger as relates to Courtney Clenney. But nonetheless, this at least brings closure to the family. They want to move on with their life. This has been a nightmare for 4 years. And when we go back to our doing our normal days, they still have to wake up every day with the loss of Kristen Ambaselli. And that's something that no family should have to.
But that woman will be out free.
It is very, very tragic. And for a mother to have to bury their own child.
This is insane. What?
So at this point, we now ask that the public allow them to return back to some degree of normality, as difficult as that may be.
Lastly, after 2 years, she'll be out. Is the family okay with she made her career making money, right? Like, on social media. Is the family okay with her potentially making money out of what happened?
Wow.
Well, the law in Florida is no one convicted of a felony of taking someone's life.
What is this?
Is allowed to benefit financially for that action. The Attorney General of Florida made that very clear. That is the law in the state of Florida, regardless of what the defense have indicated that they may challenge that law or not. That is the law. It's similar to the Son of Sam's law. Basically, you cannot benefit from your wrongdoing. And so therefore, that is the law. I believe that will be maintained as the law. If there is any enrichment from it, it will go to the victim's family.
No books.
About what you had hoped
No
Courtney
movies.
would have done that day. You said she could have called 911. She could have done a bunch of things she didn't do.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about that?
Well, I mean, if at the time of the incident, when she threw the knife,
She didn't throw the
stabbed him,
knife.
as we believe,
Okay.
in his chest, most caring person, even in the act of passion or the act of emotional trauma, once you realize what you have done, most human beings will try to save the person's life.
Yes.
She was on the phone, as evidenced by their own records. At the time, she was on the phone with her mom. He's bleeding to death on the floor. She continued the conversation. The next call she made was to the security downstairs. The last call was to 911. By the time 911 got there, he was dead.
Do you think if she would have called 911 first, we wouldn't be here today?
I don't know, but I know that would have at least shown human compassion.
Facts.
That would have shown some humanity. I think that every reasonable person would agree with that. But to allow a person to bleed to death and then run behind saying you did it in self-defense while they're on the floor dying in your presence, I believe that speaks a whole lot about the character of the person.
And the family believed that his love for her cost him his life.
Absolutely, he predicted it. He indicated in his text, his writings, before that he believed that his love will eventually caused his demise at her hands.
Do they wish he never dated her?
Well, they wished he was alive today. That's what they wish. And they've been robbed of that.
You mentioned
Thank you.
injuries he suffered in the past. Also, some mention of the narrative that she painted of abuse by him. Are you suggesting that she was the abuser, far more aggressive than what has been described?
That's what the independent evidence shows and established. He was cut in the face by her, went to the hospital. He was stabbed in the thigh by her. And then the ultimate final episode was what happened while we're here today, where he was stabbed in the eye.
Have the
Thank
court
you.
said anything to the family? Have they apologized?
No.
In the courtroom, we heard a little bit about who Christian was. So I wanted to ask, how does the family want him to be remembered?
As a loving person, as a person who would give his last, as a very compassionate person, and even his own conduct has shown that when he was attacked before, where he had to go to the hospital being cut, he didn't call law enforcement. He never called the police on her because he loved her. He was blind by that love. And that's why he felt and predicted that it would be love that would take his life.
Wow. Hamburglar.
It was in his text. He was texting her. These are evidence that were found in his text phone. Thank you all so much.
Well, that's unbelievable. That is unfreaking believable, guys. Let me just say this. I am very surprised that they are, like, this was the decision that they were cool with. So they were fully aware. Prosecution did give them a heads up. This is the deal that we're going to give her. And they said, I bet. Nah. Okay, here it is. I'm not the family. I can't speak on behalf of the family. And I'm sure there are members of the family that are not cool with that decision, with that deal. But you got another thing coming if you're going to sit there and say that this is okay. Like, I'm sure there's other members of the family that are not cool with this. And I get it that this doesn't change anything. It doesn't bring Christian Obumseli back home alive. It doesn't bring him back from the dead. But at the same time, what about justice? What about justice? And yeah, I mean, Tammy, you got a point there too. It's like maybe the family is just tired. They just want to be finished with her so that they can do what they need to do. You know, so that they can do what they need to do, which is like say goodbye to their loved one. Do the proper goodbye, grieve, and be able to say, you know, close that chapter of their life, dealing with this woman. But here's the thing. To me, that's not justice served. I would not be okay with this. Just me personally. But I am just shocked that was the deal that was presented to Courtney. And of course, Courtney took it. But here's the other thing, too. She's still not saying, yeah, sure, she's saying, like, yes, she took his life. But she's still saying that she threw the knife. She's not saying, hey, I plunged the knife. You know what I mean? She's not saying any of that stuff. She's still not taking responsibility for something that she actually did. She's just taking a plea deal and saying, yes, I did throw the knife in which I threw that went into his chest is the cause of his demise. So yes, technically I am the one who took his life. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She's not saying, you sort of see, she's not saying she did it, and she's not saying that she's taking full responsibility for taking the man's life. She is just saying, yes, the knife that I threw left my hand and went into his chest, and now he's dead. So yes, technically, I took his life. Technically. But it was still self-defense. You know what I'm saying? I Chihuahua. Yeah, I'm not. I get it. Family could be very, very tired. It's been 4 years of them continuing to push the date of this trial. And I think that they were doing that as a waiting game. I think that's what they were doing. I think prosecution fell for it. Now, again, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. All right. I don't court very often. All right. Unless we're watching a trial or something of that sort. But it feels like the defense was like, we're just going to wait it out. Let's just wait it out. Let's continue to have continuances for this trial to the point where they're just like, F it. Let's just give her a decent deal so we can close this book on this woman. So we can close the case so we can move on. Here's the other thing that I didn't realize. He had been attacked 2 different times, cut in the face and stabbed in the leg, 2 separate times by her. 2 separate incidences that happened with a sharp object, one in the leg, cut in the face. And then now, knife in the chest. You see what I'm saying? That's nuts. That's nuts. So there's already a history of that crap. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I know some of y'all be like, well, that's what it is. What it is. True, it is what it is. But was this justice served? I don't think so. Here's the other thing, too. Yes, they're really wanting to make sure that she does not benefit on anything. And I think that they're talking about OF as well. Because if you really think about it, she can go back to OnlyFans. She can make her content as soon as she gets out. And there's going to be a tidal wave of people that will probably go over there solely because she did what she did. And now she has notoriety. Now people know her name. So they're going to start looking her up. Oh, this girl that was on, was a model and was on OF and, you see what I'm saying? It's like the Catch Me Outside girl. It's like, the Catch Me Outside girl just started OF and all these sick little sons of guns went and broke the internet and gave her millions and millions of dollars because they just wanted to see what she looked like without her clothes on, right? So now you look at this situation, a girl who actually took the life of somebody. Now she's going to come back. She's going to be like, I'm back on OF, guys. Everyone's going to be flooding to us. So they're probably sitting there going, no, we want to block her from being able to make that money. Because she's going to be using the fact that she took the life of our son for her financial benefit. So if you go out there and you start making OF money, all that money goes to the family. If you go out there and Lifetime wants to buy the rights to your story and turn it into a movie or something like that, no. Sorry. You can sell it all you want, but all that money's going to us. And if you try to hide that money, we will sue you the pants off of you for it. Right? Here's the other thing. Yeah. It's like if she goes on podcasts and she gets paid to go on a podcast to talk about her side of the story, for example, all that money goes to the family. All that money goes to the family. So in other words, if Christian was controlling her when he was alive, he's still going to be controlling her financially in his death. You see what I'm saying? So in her mind, she might be like, this is an opportunity to get paid. I'm about to get paid as soon as she gets out because everybody and their mom are going to be knowing who the F she is, right? Right? But all that money is going straight into the pockets of Christian's family, not her. So she can't just go back and do OF. She can't just go back and write her book, I threw the knife by Courtney Clenney. You know what I'm saying? No, she sells a book. The money goes over to the family. So in other words, she going to be working at the TGI Fridays for the rest of her days. Or she going to be working at an office or something of this sort. But she can't do anything remotely surrounding his name, his likeness, or utilizing her newfound fame, this morbid, messed up fame, for her own financial benefit. And yes, Blondie Monique, I think that she will most likely muck it up. I think she will, as far as her probation. She's got 5 years. She's going to have to stay sober for 5 years. Sober for 5 whole years. Now, I'm not sitting here saying you can't stay sober for 5 years, but I'm just saying she's going to have to be clean for 5 years. And that's clean on many levels, not just substances, on other things as well. She could mess up. See, now, Jay, that's funny. She will open up her own axe throwing business. Here's the thing, though. They will sue the pants off of her if she was to do something like that. I'm just saying. You know? If she was to start her own knife throwing business or something crazy like that, they would take her money. Anything that could remotely be in some way, shape, or form connected to Christian in any kind of way, and she's making money for that, shoot, they take it all. They'll take it all. So she won't be able to be out there like in her skivvies, chilling on the beach, that kind of thing. She can't do that crap anymore. It's all gone, baby. It's all gone. So I'm glad that they clarified a few things. Do I agree with the family making being cool with this? I don't agree with it. I don't think that plea deal should have been put on the table in the first place. And I feel like I would have, if I had found out about that and I was the family, I would have made a I would make a big fuss about it. I'm just going to be real. Okay. This was bad. This was very, 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 very bad. But yeah. So there it is, guys. There's that. That was trash. That was absolute trash if you ask me. But it is all good, I guess. It is all good. But guys, I'm going to be back on here in about an hour or so, because we have Tupac Shakur's trial that we got to jump into. Okay. So I'm going to hop off, take a tiny little break, and then be back with you guys covering that and discussing all that as well. You know, they're going into recess, or, they had a recess. I don't know really what for. Because, what's done is done. She's taken she's got 6 years. She's got 6 years, 5 years probation. She's already spent 4 years behind bars. So she'll be out in most likely less than 2 years. You got 2 Christmases for her, and she'll be back out free. But the thing is that the family's requesting that she cannot make any money off of anything revolving around this. So no books, no movie deals, no spin-offs for TV shows or anything crazy like that. Nothing. Okay. She can't start her own podcast. She can't, start her own, OnlyFans. She can't do any of that stuff. Right. Because those things would be, going off the benefit of this notoriety of being, all over TV, all over the news and all that. And there's some really crazy people who have disturbing, morbid curiosities of wanting to follow her. The simps are out there. They're real. Okay. So she can't make money the way that she used to anymore. So she's going to be working at a Target. You know what I mean? She's going to be working at she's going to be working at a TGI Fridays. Just make sure she has enough flair on. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure she has enough flair. That's basically it. It's a damn shame, guys. All right. But she can't benefit. But if she does do an interview and she gets paid for that interview, she has to give that money to the family. If she sells her story to like Lifetime or some place, she's gonna have to give that money to the family. So yeah. Pretty disgusting and sad stuff, guys. Yep. In case you didn't already know, I don't agree. I do not agree with this. All right. But yeah, we are going to be looking at, I already know about that, Oya. Yeah, we're going to be looking at that in about an hour. So I'm going to wrap up here. We got more to discuss here with the Tupac Shakur stuff. We got a lot to talk about and a lot to cover. We're going into jury selection day 1, and they should be starting in about a half hour from now. So I will hop on in an hour, and we will be rapping about the Tupac Shakur murder trial and everything revolving around that. So get ready, because it's a big day today. All right. So that's the show, guys. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Really means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in. Trust me, I'm going to be back here in about an hour to discuss with you guys and cover the Tupac Shakur trial. Keefe D going in there saying he didn't do it, even though he said he did it. We got a lot to talk about. So please do me a favor before we head out. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. And if you are watching on these other platforms, make sure you hit that follow button. Okay? Follow. Subscribe right here on my YouTube channel. Subscribe right here. Got a lot to discuss. Big show coming up in about an hour. So be sure to tune in. Big show. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it is random. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out that Patreon, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, so go check it out. PascalMerch.com. I will see you guys in about an hour. Much love to you guys, and we'll be venturing into Tupac, the trial everybody's been waiting for. We're going to talk about that and then some. Anyway, it is time to get going. See you guys very shortly. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show.